I always remember like growing up too. Just a quick side story. Like time zones and things like confused the hell out of me. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
somebody once told me like they were like, "Oh, you're I'm gonna be in California for the Super Bowl," and like I knew California time was 3 hours behind, but in my head when I was younger, I thought it was 3 hours ahead. So I was like, "Oh my God, you're gonna know the results of the Super Bowl before we do? You have to tell me what happens." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "The Super Bowl. Like you're gonna see it 3 hours ahead of time. Like give me a call and like just give me a heads up why I wanted to know. Like I couldn't bet as a young kid, obviously. I don't know why I wanted to know, but I told him. He's like, "You're an idiot." Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Two Man Podcast. Carl, how's it going?
Dude, it is going great. Tyler, first, before we start, man, happy 1 year anniversary of the
Happy
Two Man
anniversary, man.
Podcast. Dude, 23, episode 23, Jordan podcast today. We very happy to, be doing this for a year. Only gonna be better. And I'm so happy to be doing this with you for another year, Tyler. Let's go.
Dude, I hope we do it for another 10 years. This has been so fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
Thank
this
you.
till I'm dead.
Exactly. Thanks everyone for the support so far. We've had a good run on TikTok, reached over 1,000 followers, which is great.
Let's
Instagram's
go.
moving
Let's
up,
go.
views are going up. So we appreciate the continued support. Keep buying that merch, keep supporting. And we really just do it for you guys. So
Yeah, nobody else. Just you guys.
exactly. So
Great.
we just hit our year mark
Yeah.
when the first episode was published. So now we're on episode 23. We're on a good pace with every other week. So we keep it up. But we did just miss. We had a little longer hiatus because Mr. Travel the World Man over there went on two lovely trips that he's gonna start to show off, telling us all about.
Yes, guys. So basically I went on two trips, two places I've been wanting to go to for a very long time. I went to Nashville and I went to Colorado. Really both kind of two completely different types of vibes.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely drinking in both. Definitely. That's always a thing.
Good.
It was funny. I was talking to Billy and I was like, dude, like we have to go on a vacation soon, like all together, like get all the boys to go. And he
Mhm.
was like, yeah, man, I don't know if I can ski though. And I was like, listen, dude, we don't need to go on vacation to ski. Like we can go to beach. As long as it's booze themed, like we're chilling. And he's
Yeah.
like, dude, I think no matter what we do, it'll be booze
It will be
themed.
boo. You could go to like the middle of the ocean on some
Yeah.
abandoned island and just bring a cooler. It will be booze themed no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, I'll start with Nashville. Nashville was a shorter trip, only a couple of days. Super cool. Funny thing about when I went to Nashville, it ended up being like the coldest like ever
Of
there.
course.
It was like 9 degrees while it was like 30 degrees up here in New York and
Hmm.
Connecticut. It was crazy. And they got about 4 to 5 inches of snow, and it was like the world ended because
Oh yeah.
stuff got, closed down. You're walking on the sidewalks just to get to the main our hotel was 2 blocks away from the main strip Broadway.
Hmm.
And pretty much all the sidewalks were just covered in a sheet of ice.
Nice.
So we were ice skating to the bars in
Awesome.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Not too
crazy.
many people can probably say that. So
I
that's
don't I don't
something you could
think
check off the bucket list.
yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, a lot of awesome. I think my favorite part of just about going to Nashville was just every bar you walk into, live music is playing, and I
Awesome.
love live music. I think it is
Hmm.
so cool. And it was like one person was better than the next. You walk into one bar, it's like, wow, this person's even better than the guy with the last bar. It's just
Yeah.
like, it was crazy. I ended up talking to one of the performers, and she was like, yeah, I'm from Kansas. I just literally moved here just to, play music and live in Nashville. I was like, that's awesome. Like the fact that you're that good, you can just move and just like
Yeah,
play
that's
music for a
that's
living.
that's a dream job, and I know. I mean, I've never been, but I know pretty much every country singer now has a bar down there. Barstool has a bar down there, so you could
Yes.
really be done at one gig and walk down the street and
And then
go to
party.
another gig and
Yeah.
make money all day. Really,
Yeah,
just drink and
literally.
play.
Yeah, this one band, they were like it was like they were like an older band, but and they had like one younger kid on it.
Hmm.
And the older band was playing, and they're like, this is it for us for tonight, but let's say we'll call him Cowboy Jimmy. Cowboy Jimmy is playing next door starting at 7 p.m. Go
Nice.
watch
Yeah.
him. And I'm like, that's awesome. This guy's playing 2 gigs in one day. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I'm sure like it's definitely like a little brother sisterhood kind of thing because obviously they all have the same dreams, same goals. So they
Oh
definitely all
yeah.
support each other, learn from each other, and probably all hang out. And then just like, my set's done, but doesn't mean the party's got to stop,
Yeah.
Head next door to my boy uh, and listen to them all day. No, that really sounds
100%.
great.
Yeah, it was dope. I mean, like you said, there was places I went to, Jason Aldean's, which is like frequented in a lot of Morgan Wallen
Hmm.
songs. That place was dope. Luke Bryan's, there was Kid Rock. That we went to
Nice.
Brooke Garth's. So a bunch of really popular country singers all have bars down there, and it was awesome. I think my favorite place had to have been either Jason Aldean's or Kid Rock's, just like during
Hmm.
the day when we went there. I'm very pissed though I didn't get to go to um the Barstool Bar. That
Hmm.
was like a bucket list thing I wanted to do when I was there, but we just were having so much fun at these other bars and we were really only there for
Yeah.
2 nights. So didn't end up checking it off my list. So you know what that means.
We
We have
gotta
to go
go
back.
back. Gotta go
Gotta
back.
go
I
back.
I absolutely love all the videos and TikToks I see when it's like, day three of the all inclusive or like, day three of the drink bender on vacation or something. It's just
Yep.
people like forcing the drink into their mouth. And, I'm sure
I love those
you and
TikToks too.
me can't really relate to anything more. You're just on a trip and you just want to try
Oh,
all the tropical drinks every day or the beers at the bars and stuff. So I'm sure it was definitely a struggle towards the end of it, especially because you were there for such a short period of time.
yeah, dude, I think Sunday my body like just wanted to go into full like death mode. Like I've never been that hungover or felt that unwell.
Yeah.
And then I had to go on a flight
Oh my
to
God.
go home. It was terrible.
That has to be. I've talked about this with Taylor a lot. Probably one of the top three worst times to be hungover is having to go on a flight.
I would agree. I would
It,
agree. I
I would,
don't know what could top it.
yeah. The only one that I thought was close was having to like move out of your apartment or house the next morning. Comes close, but I think
Ooh.
definitely being on a flight is worse.
I would say that or work, but I feel like everybody's always hungover at work. But it
Yeah,
just
people.
sucks.
Yeah, people have done that before, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anywho, but yeah, no. I'm glad Nashville was a fun time. I'm
Yeah,
glad you
Nashville was
haven't
dope.
checked some things off the bucket list. I'd love to go
Yeah,
back.
well, I literally was sitting there with Jack, and it was like the night after we had just gotten there,
Hmm.
and we had so much fun like the first night we were there, and I'm like staring at my phone like super intently,
Hmm.
and Jack goes, "Dude, what are you looking at your phone so intently?" Because I literally just like put my phone down on the table, and I was just like this, just like staring at it,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And I was like. I'm looking to see how I can come back. I was like, I'm looking to
Already
see.
booking your next trip.
I was like, I'm looking to see where it makes sense to book another trip where
Hmm.
I won't get in trouble from work from taking off too soon.
Dude,
It was funny though.
that's awesome. I think one of the funniest texts I got from you was when you first arrived and you texted us, and Nashville's an hour behind us, right? Only an
Hour
hour.
behind, yeah.
Yeah. So, here in Connecticut, it was 12:30. And you're like, guys, it's only 11:30. I'm a time traveler. Shit had me die. I was absolutely losing my mind. I was like, it was just so funny. It caught me so off guard.
Dude, because I think you guys were like, yo, we're playing Shell at this time. And I'm like, dude, that's an hour away. I can do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I always remember like growing up too. Just a quick side story. Like time zones and things like confused the hell out of me. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
somebody once told me like they were like, "Oh, you're I'm gonna be in California for the Super Bowl," and like I knew California time was 3 hours behind, but in my head when I was younger, I thought it was 3 hours ahead. So I was like, "Oh my God, you're gonna know the results of the Super Bowl before we do? You have to tell me what happens." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "The Super Bowl. Like you're gonna see it 3 hours ahead of time. Like give me a call and like just give me a heads up why I wanted to know. Like I couldn't bet as a young kid, obviously. I don't know why I wanted to know, but I told him. He's like, "You're an idiot." And I was like, "Why?" He's like, one, 3 hours behind. Two, it's not like actual, like it's just the physical time. It's not like
Yeah, it
I'm three
happens
hours
at the same
behind you.
time. Oh, that's
I
funny
was
as
like,
fuck.
well, there's
That's hilarious. How
everyone
old were
learns
you?
somehow. So
How how old were you?
I was young. I was probably in like elementary school. I mean, probably
Uh,
too old. I've definitely learned my time. you know,
No, I
earlier
feel
on
like
in life.
elementary school is pretty fair. I think I would have thought that too. But if you said like high school,
Oh no, no, no,
definitely
no.
would have cut your ass.
Yeah,
I
no,
definitely
that's
would have
fine.
cut your
I'd
ass.
admit if it was high school, but it was definitely elementary school.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny, dude.
Yeah, no, definitely want to go to Nashville. And I feel like only over the last couple of years, or at least few years, maybe 5 years, it's really turned into the party spot it is.
Yeah, I think it's like right now I feel like back in the day it used to be if you're going to party somewhere or you're going on a bachelor trip,
Hmm.
it was like Vegas and Miami.
Yeah.
Now it's like Vegas and Nashville is slowly creeping up to possibly being that number one, especially
Yeah.
with girls. I feel like a lot of girls would rather choose Nashville over Vegas for like a bachelorette trip or
I mean, yeah, I think so. Because I mean, obviously, it depends where you live, and it's probably more people we talk to, like, are on the East Coast, so Nashville's closer. But like, Vegas, one of the big things is like the casino and betting.
yeah,
And if you don't want to bet or you're not a high roller, there's still clubs, but what else is there? There's more to do, but
yeah,
the
100%.
casino aspect is a big part of it. And, for us degenerates, we want to do that, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, there's shows and stuff you go to Vegas. It's like
Well,
another
yeah.
city that never sleeps type of vibe where there's always something going
Yeah,
on.
no,
So,
I'm definitely not saying Vegas is losing its touch. It's definitely still has it. But yeah, no, I was shocked too, because like, just like I feel like so many adults, when they hear people want to go to Nashville, they're shocked. Like I know Taylor's parents went there not too long ago, and they were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe like how many people are partying. Like we got here at 10 a.m. and people are already drunk. Like what is there to do?" And it's like, what isn't there
I
to
was
do?
I was one of those people. It
Yeah,
was crazy.
it's like, Broadway just is bar after bar after bar, music after music. Like it's definitely turned into the party town. Like I definitely need to get down there soon.
Now we gotta go. I was like looking at it for my birthday in April to see if it made sense, but I don't think anything makes sense yet.
Yeah, we'll make it
Gonna
make
force
sense.
everybody to go down there.
Yeah, we'll make it make sense. We gotta
Yeah,
we gotta get a bachelor trip or something going down there soon.
yeah, we do. Mike Langus, you're up, buddy.
You're up,
Batter up.
man. We got to just force him to go down to Nashville.
Yeah, yeah.
Plan everything for us.
Apparently Emily said when she has her bachelorette party, she wants to do Key West.
Fire. Great
So
spot.
I was like, that's a great spot too. So I was
Love
like, all
that
right,
spot.
cool. We'll go to Nashville. See you
Yeah, no,
there.
I've been there twice. Let them go down to the land down under. We'll say a little
Land
more up.
down under.
But no,
Oh,
that's
it's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so, that's your Nashville
Yeah,
trip. How's oh,
speaking
sorry.
of time travel though,
Yeah.
so if you thought I was time travel for that, I went 2 hours back in time to go to Colorado.
Yeah.
Dude, that was crazy because our flight was like 11, no, it was early. It was like 7 a.m. like
Hmm.
Eastern time. And our flight was 4.5 hours, so it should have been, close to like noon or
Two.
1 or
Yeah,
yeah, 2. Yeah.
I
It ended
guess.
up being like noon when we got there.
Oh, I that
And
would have thrown me off.
yeah, it was crazy. I was like, "Oh my God, there's so much time." So we like got there, we got a rental car, which was dope.
Hmm.
Um I finessed the crap out of the Enterprise guy to give me a bigger car. So like because you're 20 we're not 25 yet, you can't get like a big like, SUV type of thing. So they
Yeah.
were going to give us the option of like a crossover, which is like, your regular, Toyota
Mm.
RAV4 or a minivan. So
Hmm.
we picked the minivan because we had so much luggage. It would have just sucked because we were going all over the place. So
Hmm.
our itinerary was from Denver to Breckenridge to Glenwood Springs to Aspen. So
Jeez.
from our pinnacle or from the very bottom to the pinnacle of our trip, it
What a
was
nice
four.
word.
Dude, thanks, man. I've been using it a lot, and it was about 4.5 hours. So we went from Denver and we drove 2.5 hours to Breckenridge, then a hour to Glenwood Springs, and then like
Jesus.
another hour to Aspen,
Oh my
and then
gosh.
we did the same thing on the way back. We kind of just did it in reverse
Jeez, that's
order.
crazy. I thought you guys were just staying at one place in Colorado.
No, I fucking wish it was because I hated doing all the driving and I did like I want to say 90% of the driving.
Oh
So
my God.
I was telling Jimmy on our way home because plus I drove up to Boston from Long Island.
Yeah, man.
So
You're probably staring at cars, just saying you
yeah,
never
I'm like
want to get one ever again.
cars, man. Yeah, no, it was like but I was like, Jimmy, I think I at least drove like 15 over 1,500 miles.
Hmm.
got to know even more than that. It had to have, yeah, had to have been, yeah,
I mean, sounds like it, especially if each place is like an hour away, there, back, and then
yeah,
Boston and back. I mean, Boston and back was like 5 hours for you guys.
yeah. It was crazy.
So yeah, you definitely deserve a break from driving.
Yeah, definitely. I told Mike Langus he has to pick me up from work on Friday, so I was like, that's all you do.
Yeah, yeah. Have someone else do it, and you'll close your eyes so that you don't think you're in a car.
Yeah,
Anything.
but anyway, I think Colorado, I was telling my parents when I got back, I think Colorado is probably the most beautiful place I've ever been. And which is like a stretch. I've been like, I've been to a lot of beautiful places like Florida or yeah, I've been to Jamaica. I've been to a lot of tropical places, but
Yeah.
in my opinion, I felt like Colorado just like natural beauty of like, it's a different type of beauty when you go to a beach as opposed to like,
Yeah.
like mountains and like architecture and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're just driving and you just see beautiful landscape, and it's like so different than like it is here where there's like
Hmm.
you can't drive more than 25 like 20 miles without seeing um a big like building or like a congested city, especially on Long Island or in New York.
Hmm.
So it was like super refreshing to kind of just see just like the long windy roads with the big mountains.
No, of
It
course.
was super pretty. And then I was really a big fan of the Red Rocks.
Oh, you
Every
got to
time
see it? Nice.
yeah. Well, we didn't see the amphitheater, but like you're driving and you just see like mountains that
Oh, I
have like
see.
red rocks.
Oh, cool,
Yeah, that
cool.
was like that was our plan supposed to be for Saturday, but it's ended up snowing really bad Friday
Mm,
night into Saturday. So we decided to just stay in Boulder for 2 nights, like the last 2 days.
gotcha. No,
Um,
probably safer.
yeah, because we went from Aspen to yeah, so we went to Breckenridge. Well, first night we got there, we went to a Denver Nugget Bucks game,
That's
which
cool.
was dope. Yo, seeing Jokic and Giannis live
That's
was
awesome.
unreal, dude. Like I watch these guys play on TV and
Yeah.
it's like they're just absolute animals.
Yeah.
But like I don't know what it is, just seeing them like actually do what they do live, like
Yeah.
make the block the shot or make that ridiculous unbalanced shot. It's just crazy to just see.
Exactly. And
Um
it is a defending champ, so I'm sure the crowd was pretty cool and, backing their team and stuff. It looks like you
oh
guys
yeah,
had a nice view, nice seats too.
yeah, had to have been a sold out crowd. Every seat was packed there.
Yeah.
On Monday night too, which was crazy to me.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was the energy was crazy, just like big defense,
Yeah, yeah.
defense.
Yeah,
And
no.
they had this weirdest thing during like the in between the third and fourth period. They
Mhm.
had this like show come on where these guys went on a pole, and the one guy just kept swirling around the pole like this, just
Mhm.
like circling around the pole. And
Yeah.
then like you thought the girl was gonna do it too. No, she didn't do it. She just watched him. I was like, what's this girl here for? And then he spun the girl around the pole while he was spinning around the pole. It was the craziest thing. I don't know
And
if I can explain that. I was like, they
n-
brought out strippers in the middle of this thing. I was like,
yeah,
what's
no.
going on?
I get the gist of what you're saying. Definitely seems interesting, especially
Yeah,
between you would think at halftime when there's a bigger break, but to do between the third and fourth quarter is
yeah, I've never seen anything like that, like in sports where it was like that. It was crazy.
yeah, no, that's an interesting one. That's definitely a new one.
No, it's so strange, but I guess that's how they do it over there in Denver.
Uh,
And oh, also fun fact that I think that you're really gonna like is that apparently when you fly from a lower altitude to Denver,
mm.
you get drunker faster.
I have heard this before. I have
Yes.
heard this. Actually, I didn't even get to ask you or even think to ask you. Like, could you tell the difference in altitude at all?
So yes.
Really?
So I definitely like thought it was a little bit harder to breathe,
Mm.
but not like just like normally when they're walking, and not even while skiing. The hardest part for me to breathe was walking upstairs.
I believe it.
Like so we had our second night there, we had like a Airbnb that was kind of like apartment style,
Mm.
but each one was like an Airbnb. And we walk in, it was like 2 flights up,
Yeah.
and we walk back from the bars Tuesday night, and I sprint up the stairs, and I'm in front of the door. Dude, I I'm usually not that winded. I
Yeah.
was like, Casey, he's like, oh my God, dude. Ah, ah. He's like, what the hell?
Dude,
He's
that's
like, I got
awesome.
my inhaler. It took
O-
his inhaler.
Oxygen, please. Please,
Oxygen,
anyone get an
please.
oxygen tank? I'm
Yeah,
dying here.
no, it was crazy. But yeah, the skiing aspect though was absolutely awesome there. Beautiful sights. The snow was so pretty. Um, and probably the best skiing conditions I've ever been on.
Yeah.
And what's funny though is I was with my cousin. He skied with us the first day, and he goes, those conditions are the worst you'll ever have here in Denver."
Oh my
And
gosh. You
I was like,
probably,
this
yeah.
is the best conditions I've ever been in.
I was about to say, you
He's like,
probably thought you were like floating down the mountain. You're like, this is so majestic, so beautiful.
yeah,
Anyone who's from Colorado was
exactly.
like, oh, this is garbage.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
He was
crazy.
Yeah, because he was like, because it hadn't snowed there in a couple of like about a week and a half.
Hmm.
So like all the snow was like a week and a half old and packed down, and it wasn't like it was icy, but like definitely there were some spots where they could have used more snow.
Hmm.
And he was like, yeah, if I was like texting him because it ended up snowing like Friday and Saturday. He's like,
Hmm.
dude, if you go to the mountain Sunday, it's gonna be beautiful. I'm like, dude, we're leaving
God,
Sunday. I was like,
God damn.
oh.
I could just imagine if you ever came to like Connecticut or Vermont or I don't know, Jersey if it has, and he'd probably be like,
He'd
I'm
be like,
I'm
what is this?
I'm skiing on garbage.
Yeah, literally straight ice. That's
Yeah.
what it is skiing here in the eastern mountains. It's crazy. But yeah, so then we went to the next day, we woke up early, we went to the Glenwood Springs. We were supposed to
Hmm.
do like an alpine like roller coaster and cave tours, but they
Hmm.
closed that during the week. So
Uh,
we did a hike instead.
that's cool. I
And
mean, yeah.
it was cool. Like it was super like we kept seeing people on the way down, and they're like, you're almost there, it's so worth it. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just got to do it. The shitty part is that Jim or Casey called up and he was talking to a guy, and they were like, do you suggest like wearing like hiking spikes? And the hiking spikes weren't expensive, but you did need to stop off at a place before you got to the beginning of the trail. Like you had to drive like another like 5 minutes like down the road the other way.
To
So
get
already,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you don't need them. And we get there, the whole freaking thing is covered in snow. He was like, it's hot out right now. It probably shouldn't all be covered in snow. You don't need spikes.
Yeah.
We're like, that, say less. We show up, the whole thing is covered in snow. And
You think the guy would want to sell his product and make some
that's
money?
that's what I'm saying. So then Courtney called or Jimmy called the guy, and then the guy was like, wait, you guys don't have any equipment? You should definitely get equipment.
Oh, pfft.
And at this point, we're already like about to like walk onto the trail. So we said, fuck it, let's just do it.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
this hike, it was a short one. It was only a mile and a quarter.
Okay.
And so they said it should have taken us about like an hour and 15 minutes up, an hour 15 minutes down.
Okay.
It ended up probably taking us like an hour and 40 each way. I think it ended up taking us like 4 hours to do, which was like a little bit more than what it should have been.
Definitely. Well,
Um,
between the high altitude, the huffing and puffing, and the lack of spikes, I mean, I still
oh
think that's
yeah,
pretty impressive.
dude, like so in that mile and a half, you were traveling up 1,000 feet.
Jeez.
Think about that.
Jeez.
Think about
That's
how crazy that is.
Dude, that's nuts. I would have had
That's
to stop.
nuts.
When we went on the hike on what New Hampshire on that
Yeah,
one. I mean that one's long. That one was what like 2.5 hours, three to the top.
yeah.
I was out of breath then. I don't think you would have seen me at the top of the hike in Colorado. I don't think I would have made it 1,000 up. I was already out of breath on that one. On this
Dude,
one, when
no.
I'm going up in altitude, I would have passed out. I would have had to get stretchered down.
No, it was crazy. It was called like Hidden Lake Valley, this one. And
Hmm.
dude, what I'm telling you, honestly, the worst part wasn't even going up. The worst part was coming down because it was so slippery.
Hmm.
I was like trying to go through it as fast as I could because I just like was so sick and tired of it, and I wanted to go have a beer. So
Yeah.
I'm like sliding down the path like a skateboarder, and then like
Nice.
my foot would just hit an ice patch, and I would just go like
You
freaking
just like
Family
tumble.
Guy, just like fall like a cartoon.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would just
yeah.
slide down the rest of the way, and I was wearing jeans. I was leaving blue patches all around the snow. Courtney and Casey are like, Carl, you're leaving yourself behind. I'm like, what? And it was just blue streaks of my jeans. Oh, it was so funny.
That's actually nuts.
It was hilarious. But we finished the hike and you get up to this like this final part, and let me say it really was worth it. It ended up being
Mhm.
like this big like lake part where four different waterfalls fell down
Oh,
into the
nice.
lake. It was so pretty, and then like the mountains in the background with the sunset. Like we went like just before sunset, so it
Mhm.
was like the sun was peeking out, like about to set. It was
Nice.
so beautiful. I'll have to post some clips onto the TikTok
Yeah,
show
please.
showing after this. But yeah, it was so pretty. And then we stayed up there for a little bit, took some pictures. We asked some fellow hikers to take a big group picture of us. Then we went down, and then
Nice.
that night we went to the hot springs. And somebody suggested to us that we did like the Iron Mountain hot springs, which is different than the regular Glenwood Springs hot springs. It's like
Okay.
they're in the same place, but the regular Glenwood Springs is just like one big hot spring that's kind of like basically how somebody described it to us, a community like pool.
Mhm.
And then the ones we went to was like individual pools, so they were all like little mini hot tubs,
Mhm.
but each little mini hot tub was based off of like a different mineral or a different country's like hot springs, so they were man-made to like emulate those hot springs.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was really cool. So I actually sent you a video of the Garnett. I don't know if you saw it. I sent you a video of the Garnett pool. They
I
had a
prob
Garnett hot spring.
I probably did, and that's pretty
Yeah, yeah.
dope.
It was fucking dope.
Really great name.
And it was one of the hottest ones. We got in it and we're like, dude, I gotta get out of this thing, bro. It is so hot. I was like, yo, Garnett is too hot, dude. He's too hot.
Something about them Garnets, I guess.
Something about them Garnets. Yeah.
That's awesome. No,
It-
that sounds fun. No, that
yeah.
I would love to do something like that. I mean, I love hot tubs as it is, so a hot springs just
Oh,
really sounds like heaven.
dude, I was saying to myself, I gotta open up some hot springs on the island. It can't be that hard to
Yeah, yeah, please
maintain, you know?
bring them over to the East Coast. That would be
Yeah.
lovely.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. And apparently you get drunker when you're in because of something to do with the hot water, you get drunker faster.
Oh my God,
Um,
Colorado, you just get drunker doing anything.
Anything, dude, anything.
Heaven over there.
That's what I'm saying. Any trip is a booze trip. Any trip is a booze trip.
And just you know, marijuana is legal over there too. So people are just so
Yeah.
chill, laid back, and you have like two beers and you're drunk and high.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we know what's funny about that though. It was somebody was asking me if there was a lot of stoners. I didn't really run into a lot of stoners, which I thought was really funny.
Fair. Well, I mean, I feel like also like it's just becoming legal to some extent in so many other states
Yeah,
now. So like I feel like so many people are just not going to Colorado for their
to
first time. So
smoke.
they kind
Yeah.
of just blend in. Honestly, it feels
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
people might be more
That's fair.
experienced.
Yeah. Yeah. It was dope though. And then yeah, the next day we went to Aspen. That was the coolest mountain I've ever been to.
Nice.
Four different mountains. Fun fact, while I was there, Kim Kardashian and Kendall Jenner were there at the same time as us.
No way. Were they skiing a little
They were
bit or no?
skiing, yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
what?
imagine I freaking saw them.
Dude, if you ran into them up on the hills, that would have been nuts. I
That would
mean,
have been nuts.
that's like the easiest place to like if you're a celebrity to like blend in because you can just
Yes.
goggles, helmet, all the
Yeah.
snow stuff. You're bundled up, so
Yeah. I mean,
you
Kim K is kind of hard to miss though. If I saw
yeah,
Kim K,
yeah,
if
fair,
I saw, her body and I didn't know that was her or her
fair,
body.
yeah, fair. Yeah, Kim K's a little harder. I mean, I guess you could
Yeah.
still kind of wear more layers, but I mean, still you could have, but maybe less likely now that you say that. But you could have skied past them. You never
No,
know.
I could have definitely skied past her. I was zooming down the mountain though. I got brand new skis. Like I usually I'm like coasting. I'm like,
Those things were
woo. I was
oiled
like,
up.
zoom.
Those things
I
were
was like,
lubed and oiled up, ready to
yeah,
go.
yeah. I was just straight down the mountain. Courtney and Jimmy go to me, dude. Like, how are you so fast? I'm like, how are you not? Like, come on, catch up.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. And then that night we went out to a couple of bars. They had really nice nightlife. It was
Mhm.
super dope. 100% if I went back there because they have four mountains there, and we only went to one of them.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Yeah, so if I were to go back, I definitely would go back and just stay there for a couple of days and make sure to hit all four mountains. And then the nightlife was really cool. They had this place called Escobar.
Mm.
The downtown was like a really cutesy vibe. There was a lot of really expensive like not hotels, restaurants to go to and all that hoopla.
Mhm.
Um, but and then after that night, I think my favorite nights were when we went to Boulder.
Mm.
We went to Boulder, Colorado. I was trying to see if I could find Coach Prime. Unfortunately, I didn't
Try,
see any of the Sanders children or Coach Prime.
trying to get a little walk on ready for next year.
Yeah, I was trying to show him like my moves, I was
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I was gonna show him my stiff arm. I was gonna show him my trucking ability,
I'm
but it just
sorry,
didn't
man.
work.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry you weren't able to get that, but it definitely sounds like through the pictures and stories you had a really good time. I'm definitely jealous.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge skier, but I'm glad, since you guys all ski, you were able to experience that. I know that's probably like a huge bucket list item for
Oh,
skiers and
100%.
snowboarders.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
definitely.
you could definitely find fun doing no matter what, especially seeing the views and the hikes and the nightlife. And like you said, every vacation's a booze vacation.
Every
But
vacation's a boost vacation.
it definitely looks like that one was more enjoyable. And it sounds great. I'm sure there's definitely even more stories that you probably have to tell
Oh
off
no,
air.
100%. They'll yeah, definitely some off air. But there'll definitely be some times I'll just bring it up. I think now those two vacations I had, like we'll be talking about something random and I'll be like, I remember this time I was in Nashville,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
I remember
yeah.
this time I was in Colorado. I'll just bring up some silly stories.
Exactly. And
But
you got the cool cowboy hat from
oh
Nashville.
yeah, I love that
So
cowboy hat, even though Steve called me Crocodile Dundee. I love that hat.
that's funny. That's funny. Steve is a hat expert too, so that's a
He
tough
is.
one.
I can't even blame him. I just love the hat though. So
Yeah, I mean
it's
it looks great. It looks great.
I was like, damn, I should. So many people are wearing like cowboy hats in Colorado, and I was like, dude, I should have
Ah,
brought
you
my
should have
hat.
brought it. You should have brought it. It's tough. You can only fit so much in the check bag before it goes over. That thing might have been
Exactly.
10 pounds itself.
And I can't wear that hat in Boston. They'd
No, no, no,
freaking
no.
shred me.
Yeah, no, they shred anyone over there in Boston.
They'd be like, yeah, you asshole wearing a freaking cowboy
Yeah,
hat.
yeah, you would have got killed no
Yeah.
matter what.
Definitely,
Y-
most definitely.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm glad to hear you had a good time. I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad to be back. And what's funny too is going into our next topic, on my way back on Sunday, I was calling my friend Tyler and he didn't pick up the phone
No,
because
I did
what were
not.
you doing?
Me and Taylor were watching the Grammys.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it was yeah, Carl called me like as soon as the Grammy started, but it was pretty much as soon as Taylor Swift hit the red carpet and then Trevor Noah opened up the show, then Luke Combs performed with Tracy Chapman, the
Yes,
original
yes.
singer of
That
Fast
was
Car, which
cool.
was cool, and then it was an award, and then it was another performance. So like I was like it was like nonstop for 20 minutes. I was like I can't call him back now. And I finally called you back during a commercial break. But yeah, Grammys were good this year. I never really watched them growing up, but
Yeah.
last couple of years, there's been things I've been looking forward to, and I've just really ended up watching the whole thing. So
Yeah, really the whole thing. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah, me and Taylor just had it on the whole time. I mean, I realized though they really don't present awards at the Grammys anymore. I mean, it's a 3.5 hour
Yeah,
show, and I think they presented like four, maybe five awards during the entire show.
that's crazy.
Most of it now is all just announced beforehand, or they have like
Oh wow.
a separate live stream. Like I know, like I think the show started at 8. At like 6:30, I knew like almost most of the awards.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I guess they
Yeah.
just like the big ones, but I guess that makes sense. It's more really just for like performances and
Well,
uh,
yeah.
just like the whoever's hosting to just crack some jokes and make fun of the other celebrities in the crowd.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Trevor Noah hosted. He was great, and but yeah, I
He's
mean,
funny.
it was like yeah, we have like this person performing, then up next, and up next, and up next, and I had like 15 performers throughout the whole night, and I was just like, all right, so this isn't an award show; it's really just a concert. But all the performances were great. I know SZA performed a little bit. Olivia Rodrigo performed. Travis Scott performed. The little fiend. He destroyed the stage after
Thief,
getting
thief.
snubbed for album of the year.
That's crazy. I can't believe who the fuck is that Mike the Killer guy?
I don't know. I listened to his album. It's not bad, but it's not album of the year to beat Metro, Drake, 21, and Travis.
All those
Um,
other albums were so fire too. Like it was hard to begin with, and
even
then
if like yeah, even if like Heroes and Villains beat Utopia, it's like all right, whatever. But for like none of them to win, it's like because like I don't want to take away from people's Grammy wins because it's impressive. Taylor
yeah,
Swift broke a record that nice night, most album of the year wins ever. And I'm not taking away from hers, but it's also like the Grammys are just like the voter like kind of push their own agenda. Like how does Killer Mike's album win?
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
it's weird.
yeah, and I think Drake put it the best, obviously, and he kind of just said like everyone keep your heads up, like the Grammys, not that they don't matter, but if people are singing your songs, you're selling out shows, you're getting, your albums are selling. That's really all that matters at the end of the day. Who really
Yeah,
needs a
it's
Grammy, you know?
it really.
Uh,
I agree. I mean, Drake knows best because I'm pretty sure he's also been snubbed probably more than more
oh
than
yeah,
anybody in the industry, honestly, because you know how long he's been around, how many like albums he puts out a year.
yeah,
But he's literally the most popular person next to Taylor Swift in the world right now. It's
oh
like
yeah.
it's like Drake goes somewhere, everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. And people were talking and they show so many celebrities there. Like some categories are like you don't really know who's also nominated in these categories, and you're
yeah,
like, why are they even in here? And then they win, and you're like, something something's weird about that. But nonetheless, Grammys are impressive. Taylor Swift's records impressive. Anyone else's
yeah,
records impressive.
that was
But
awesome. She won Artist of the Year again,
album of the year,
Album of the Year
for
for her
Midnight's.
fourth time. That's crazy.
Yeah, for fourth time. She was tied with like Frank Sinatra and a couple other greats. So
And
she now,
she announced another album coming out.
yeah,
She's going for five.
dude, she took over the night, really. She's like everyone's been saying for the last year or so, she's the biggest celebrity and biggest singer
She's the
right now
biggest
going.
celebrity in the freaking world right now, dude.
Dude, I was joking around with Taylor too. I was like, wow, I really feel like I'm watching like an NFL game. They just keep showing Taylor Swift. But it was so funny too because
Oh,
there's
that's
like
awesome.
obviously there's guys who are and people who are triggered by that.
Yeah.
But by videos of people saying like, oh, I keep seeing Taylor Swift at the Grammys. Like this is ridiculous, and everyone's like, oh, you got to make fun of the Grammys. Like people were being sarcastic. I'm being sarcastic. Like obviously you have to keep showing it. They were showing everyone. So, but
Yeah.
also she's so supportive at the Grammys. You see her standing up, knowing word for word to every song. So
No, she's great, dude. I mean, everybody's shitting on her right now because of the whole football thing.
yeah.
But I actually was watching a Barstool podcast. I think it was what's the one with Big Cat and the
Oh, I
other
don't know.
guy.
There's a couple of them. It could be like Pardon.
Oh, it was part of my
Some.
take. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
part of my take. And who's the guy? What's the guy's name that he used to do the home run derby and he goes back.
Oh, Bergman or
Yes,
Chris
Bergman.
Berman or
Yeah,
something.
Chris
Berman.
Bergman. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they asked him, they were like, do you think that Taylor Swift is good or bad for the NFL? And he was like, honestly, if you think that Taylor Swift is bad for the NFL, like, I think you're crazy. He
Yeah.
was like, I think that she's doing really well. I was like, as much as it may annoy people that she is being showed,
Mm,
he was like, I went to the store the other day. I went to the bank and then I went to get my hair cut.
yeah.
And both places I met two ladies who I just was making passive conversation with them and I asked them if they were watching the Super Bowl this weekend and they go yes, and then he goes, what fan are you? And she's like, it's funny, I never really started watching the NFL
Hmm.
until this year. And he was like, oh really, why was that? And then she goes, because of Taylor Swift. And she
Yeah.
was like, I started watching it and I was like, wow, I really do enjoy this. And she's like, it wasn't even because I was looking for Taylor Swift anymore, I genuinely became a fan of the sport.
Yeah.
And then he said he went to the salon and the lady said like along the same lines of the same thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, if you think that that's bad, people started watching because of somebody they liked, you've
Hmm.
definitely watched something before that you never watched before because you
Oh
like
yeah.
a certain celebrity,
Yeah.
certain artist. So it was like, why is everybody giving so much hate? And then he was like, I was like, that's a pretty good take on it. I mean, I've kind of been a pro, the two man fandom knows I've been a fan of Taylor and Travis this whole time.
Yeah.
Do I think they overdid it a little bit too much in the beginning? Yes, I think they've definitely cut back on it
Oh
now.
yeah. And also like again, you can't blame Taylor Swift. It's the cameras and the media at the end of
Yeah,
the day. Like I
100%.
remember, when the whole people kneeling during the national anthem was going on and everyone's showing the camera, oh, this person kneeled during the anthem, this person kneeled, this person kneeled. If you just stop putting the cameras on them, I'm not saying you have to stop putting on Taylor Swift, but I'm saying if you
Yeah,
just stop putting the cameras on them, the story goes away. you know so
exactly.
like it's not that they're showing her, that's fine to promote that, because why wouldn't you? Look at what the sales and the viewership has gone. But if
Yeah,
like the media just stops doing side points, just show her, say she's supporting, like all the other celebrities. Some people are just asking some crazy questions in the Super Bowl media, and you're just like, dude, like you got to cut back a
Crazy.
little bit, because like
Yeah.
I'm thinking it more in like the sense of the players, like they don't want to answer that question. Like they asked
Yeah.
Travis Kelsey, they were like, who gets the ring first, you or Taylor Swift? And he's
I'm like
like,
Taylor. Taylor.
yeah, yeah. He's like, dude, I'm focusing on me getting a ring, or like basically
Yeah.
like that. So like, a lot of questions are about her and stuff, and they want their views and stuff, which is nice. But you feel bad for her at the end of the day. But she's really disappointed in the
I feel
boyfriend.
bad for both of them, man. I mean,
Oh yeah,
she's been dealing with this since like she was, first a star at 16 years old. She's been
oh
dealing
yeah,
with like these headlines, who she's dating, who she's not dating, who she broke up with, what song is this about?
dude,
Who's
I
this
know.
guy about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she honestly probably has it worse than anybody in recorded celebrity history because she's
Yeah.
been dealing with it for so long and she's going to deal for so much longer after this.
Oh my God, 100%.
So yeah, it's crazy. Um but I'm super excited for um for the Super Bowl, and should that be our next topic we go
Yeah,
into?
I was gonna
Yeah.
get right into it as well. Let's uh
Yeah.
let's talk about Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Will be playing this Sunday in the Super Bowl. We got a big matchup, a rematch from 2019. We got the Chiefs and
Yeah.
the 49ers again. Um, we didn't get to record after or talk about really the NFC and AFC championship games. Really two good games. The Chiefs defense really showed the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, really made them look like they forgot how to play football.
Yeah.
Credit a lot to the Chiefs defense. But yeah, the Chiefs didn't even score that whole second half. But they're 4 of the last 5 years, they're back in the Super Bowl because you can
Back,
never
dude.
count out Pat Mahomes.
No, dude, he's too good. He's too good, baby.
Yeah,
He's
and
too
then
good.
with the Lions and the 49ers, I mean, that was the Lions game to lose, and boy, did they lose it. They had their huge
Yeah.
lead, a couple coaching decisions didn't go their way, couple drop passes, couple fumbles, and the 49ers with their stacked offense and stacked defense, they're back in the bowl trying to reverse 2019 and maybe get there first this year in a
What
while.
do you think about this? Go back to that Lions game. What do you think you would have done on that play where Dan Campbell went for it? Do you think that was a smart move there? Or do you think he should have taken the points?
Which time?
The very last one, like right
Gotcha.
before they ended up scoring the touchdown
Yeah.
and they ended up being down by three, there
Mm,
was a drive where he went for it and then they punted the ball away and then the Niners went down and scored. But
yeah.
if they had kicked the field goal, they would have been tied,
Yeah.
and then they would have only been down. If the same thing happened, they only would have been down a touchdown, and then when they scored the touchdown, they would have been tied with time left on the clock.
Yeah, no, so the first one, I mean, listen, Dan Campbell's been had bite this knee, bite their kneecap off kind of mentality since the
Yeah.
start, since he started taking over. And that's what really got him there this year. Obviously, they were such a dominant team through the regular season, and it was to continue to go for it on fourth down. So I think the first time, I know you didn't ask about it, but I'll say it anyway. I think the first time was fine, because you get it on fourth down, you score a touchdown there. I mean, that game's over. That game
Yeah.
is over. But the second time, I know you want to go for it on fourth down, but I think you have to stop the bleeding. And I think you have to kick the field goal there and get that tied score because the momentum was all 49ers. You're trailing
Yeah.
now, you're on the road. So I think for the chance to tie that game up and kind of get the crowd to hush just a little bit would have been huge for them. But once you don't get
I
that
agree.
fourth down, I mean, the crowd that was already at the 10 went to an 11. And at that point, it was over. 49ers drive down the field. They go up by like 2 scores at that point. So yeah, I think it was a poor decision, but also, we're only talking about it because it didn't work. If it worked,
Yeah, exactly. But now, do you think that's a fireable offense? Do you think
oh
that
no.
even if he had such a great season, do you think he should be fired for that?
Oh no, 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 no way. No way. He's gotten them to this position. He's only been here for 2 years now, and he's only had success so far with them. I wouldn't fire him. It's it's
Nah,
it's
I
it's
agree.
it's a mentality he had, and it's like I said, this mentality he had all season. You know what you were signing up for when you signed him, and as a fan, what you're rooting for. So,
Yeah. No, I
um,
agree. Jimmy, when I was watching with Jimmy, right after it happened, he was like, "Oh, that guy lost me money. He deserves to be fired." Blah, blah, blah. And I
oh
was
well,
like,
Yeah, obviously you're gonna be mad from a gambling sense because
Yeah,
he kind of had it. But I mean, I was really looking forward to a Chiefs Lions Super Bowl because
so
that's
was
how the season
I.
started. I thought that
Yes.
would have been cool, but people are really shitting on the Chiefs and the 49ers Super Bowl. I think on paper it's going to be a good one. And I think it's going to be entertaining for sure. But for some reason, in the back of my head, I can't get this feeling out that the Chiefs are just going to kill the 49ers, which is weird.
You know, I have that feeling too because I felt like everybody thought that they were going to go into the playoffs and then they were just going to be the same team they were in the regular season
Yeah,
where they were kind of beating themselves. They couldn't get any offense going, but
yeah,
it seemed like I may be jinxing them, knock on wood. It seems like every game that they've played in this postseason now, there's just like their offense has just been there. Like it's clicked, like
yeah,
something clicked in their head and it was like,
mm,
all right, we know how to play football again,
yeah,
let's roll. And then they have also the best defense this year. Like
yeah,
as great as a defense as the 49ers have, like on paper, the guys,
mm.
um, I was watching the Pat McAfee show today and they were just talking about how Spagnola's defense
Oh,
is
unbelievable.
just such big game defense. Like he pulls
Yeah,
out all the stops for that defense.
yeah,
And Spagnola was saying that this year, usually you'll have like 4 or 5 guys that are like have a very good like football IQ. He's like,
mm.
dude, we have all 11 guys that play on the field have a good
Yeah,
football IQ. It's
yeah.
crazy.
No, I know, and kind of going off that point, I think that the Chiefs have really never gone into the playoffs as underdogs, and
Hmm.
Mahomes has never really gone on in with the chip on his shoulder, you know. I think obviously after they lost to the Buccaneers, that was, a little chip on your shoulder, try and win it.
Yeah.
But I think, because everyone was doubting him, he's got to go on the road. He's got to go to Buffalo. He's got to go to Baltimore. The receivers are dropping passes all year. Kelsey wasn't really putting up any touchdowns or points the last like 6, 7 weeks of the playoffs. Like, you know, MVS dropping this, who's their go-to guy after Kelsey? Like, it was so many question marks. The defense kept him in a lot of games and won some games for him. But like you said, I mean, Travis Kelsey has turned into a dominant playoff performer again. Mahomes is the same old Mahomes. And in years past, like, a shootout might have came between the Chiefs and, the Ravens, or the Chiefs and the
Yeah.
Bills. But, with the Chiefs defense rolling the way it is, I don't think really anything can stop them.
I have to agree with you, man. I mean, I think they're just from now they got the running game going. They got Travis
Yeah.
going. Like Pacheco is a beast.
Yeah. And
That guy Rice is just an absolute awesome thing that just came out of nowhere. Rookie season. The
yeah.
last 4 or 5 games, he kind of just showed up, and then he continued it into the playoffs. I
Yeah.
think they're dangerous, and now they're the villains. It's like
Exactly.
it's like our whole lives. It's been the Patriots. Everybody
Yeah.
freaking hates the Patriots.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be the Patriots. Nobody wants to be the Patriots. Now it's like we wish we had the Patriots back. Fuck Patrick Mahomes. Fuck Travis Kelsey. These guys
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
it's crazy. Now they're the villains and they're embracing the villain
Oh,
energy,
oh my. It's just fueling them even more.
fueling them more.
Yeah, and they want to show everyone. They're like, "Oh, you're going to talk bad about us? Like, watch what we can do. Like, you're forgetting who
Yeah.
we are." And no Brock Purdy hate. I don't know where all the Brock Purdy hate comes
I
from.
hate all that hate.
I support him. And he, the Green Bay game, obviously he struggled, came on late. The Lion game, he struggled a little bit, but really pulled it off as well. But I just think that the looks that the Chiefs are going to throw at him are going to frazzle him a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, the 49ers can keep it close as much as possible, but their defense has been slow. Chase Young and them have even said it as well. They've been sloppy a little bit.
Yep.
So I mean, it depends what 49ers defense comes out, but I think the 49ers offense and Purdy more are just going to be thrown off at first, in the first half at least. And it might be too late at that point.
Yeah, man. I mean, I honestly kind of hope that Brock Purdy does have a really great game. Like, I mean, as much as I would like the Chiefs to win,
Hmm.
just as a fan of Travis Kelsey and Patrick Mahomes,
Hmm.
I just like I think it would be cool to see like that story would be awesome,
Oh
dude.
yeah,
Like
Mr.
Mr.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant
Hmm.
goes up against the dynasty of his era and he
Hmm.
wins a Super Bowl a year away from being Mr. Irrelevant. Like that
Hmm.
storyline is just awesome. So cool.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's really straight out of a movie if he's
It's
able to pull
literally
it off. And yeah, I hope,
yeah.
I obviously wanted Lamar to win because I want everyone to share the wealth. Brady got his 7, and as great as it was, I want everyone to be able to get their ring, you know? I want a
Oh,
lot of the
100%.
49ers guys are really cool. I want them to be able to get it. I wouldn't mind if Mahomes and Kelsey won. I hope it's a good, fair game. You know, not a game that comes down to like 2 minutes left and there's a bad holding call that puts them in field goal range or
Yeah.
something like that. I hope it's a good, clean game. You know, nothing controversial comes out of it. But yeah, when it comes down to it, I don't know why I keep throwing around. I think like my prediction is like Chiefs 34, 49ers 17. Like
Yeah. Wow. A
yeah, I
blowout
think
like
it's
that.
gonna be by like a couple scores and
I
stuff.
think it's gonna be high scoring, definitely. I don't know if it's gonna be that big of a blowout. That's tough. That's almost 20 points.
I know.
That's
That's
crazy.
just that's what I mean, I hope the 49ers win. I like the 49ers a little more. My mom's a big 49ers fan. She has been her whole life, so I'm really
Better win for
pulling them
Sue's.
for them for a couple reasons. But obviously at the end of the day, I really just hope for a good game.
Yeah, man. Dude, I remember when we were watching the Patriots Falcons game and the
Oh my
Falcons were
God.
absolutely blowing out the Patriots. And I was like, this is the fucking worst Super Bowl I think I've ever watched.
Yeah.
And then they come back and they win, and it
Yeah.
ends up being the best Super Bowl we've ever watched.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
True.
that was one of the coolest things ever. But I think the next year after that, I think it was like a really, really boring Super Bowl. I just remember just not watching the game at all.
Yeah, I
I
remember. Well, yeah, like that Seahawks Broncos one wasn't that entertaining. That was a
Yes.
blowout from the start. And I
Yeah.
remember Patriots Rams was like 16-7, 16-9 ending, something like that. And I was just
Yeah.
like, that might have been the boring one where it's just like, who really cares about this game? It's
No,
just
100%.
I know there's some people there, especially some big football fans who are like, oh, I love the defense and the schemes and everything. It's like
Yeah.
I don't. You know, I want some
Yeah.
high action plays. I want some big 40-yard bombs and some interceptions and fumbles and stuff like this. I don't want, who can punt someone within the 10.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I hope it ends up being a one score game
Oh, I hope so too.
where if it ends up being a 30 to 33 type of game, where
Mm,
it ends up off of a field goal or
yeah.
off of a game winning Kelsey hook and ladder touchdown. Like imagine that play that he got called back because of Tony
Oof.
that ended the game for the Super Bowl. That
Yeah.
might be the craziest ending in Super Bowl history. And I wouldn't put it past them if they fucking pulled something like that.
I mean, I wouldn't either. Sometimes, everyone makes fun of the NFL being scripted and it's in the script, but, sometimes greatness is just, people being in the right place at the right time or really just envisioning it and expecting it. So if that opportunity presents itself again, I wouldn't doubt Kelsey to throw it across the field.
Yeah, me neither, man. Me neither. So I hope it's a good one. Hope it's close. And honestly, I won't be mad either way. Uh, both sides, if one of them gets a ring, that's what I love about the Super Bowl and your team's not in it. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
like have like so much like heart behind who wins. It's like
Mm-hmm.
your team's not in it. Just hope for good football, good
Yeah.
food, and somebody you like on one of the other teams is happy at the end. And
Oh
somebody
yeah.
says, "I'm going to Disneyland." That's what
Yeah,
I'm hoping for.
exactly. No, I think that's the best part is, when everyone gets to be together, watch the commercials, watch the halftime show, and yeah, just have a good time, some laughs along the way. That actually reminds me, what's Usher opening up with?
Oh, oh my God.
I think that's what he's opening up with. Funny you say that.
Yeah, no, I think that's what he. Oh
Yeah, like
my
lights off.
God,
Yeah, exactly.
I did it again, so I'm a little
The
beat
beat drop.
drop. Oh
Dude, I
my.
think it would be electric. Everyone's been talking about it, and because like some people, when I first heard Usher, I was like, "Oh, this will be a good show." But as people are trying to guess how the show's gonna start and guess his first song, he's got like 9 or 10 like great
Bops.
songs,
He's
just
got bops,
bops. Yeah, so I think it's
dude.
gonna be pretty good, especially he's got a couple opportunities to bring people out. So
Oh yeah,
I think
100%.
it's gonna be a good show. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be the best one ever,
Oh,
but
I don't think anything's gonna surpass that last not the last one we got, but the one with Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent,
oh no,
Eminem. That one was just awesome. Dude, he's
yeah,
got yeah, that song's a
yeah,
banger.
exactly.
Oh my God, that song's a banger. Dude, he's got so many bangers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then My Boo.
I don't
Oh,
even
he's
know
got
that one, but.
he's
I
got
have to listen to some of them. I'm not good with titles of songs, but I just know he's
yeah.
got a lot of good ones. And maybe he'll bring someone out. I know he's got a song with Justin Bieber. That'd be cool.
Yes, that'd be
Bring out
cool. And
Biebs.
then they're boys, and he brought out Ludacris too. He got Little John and Ludacris on a song.
Oh my God, that would
That would
that'd
go
be awesome.
crazy.
Yeah,
He's
no.
got a song with Gucci Mane. Oh, DJ got us feeling a falling in love again. He brings out freaking Mr. Worldwide, dude.
Oh my God. I mean, they're in Las Vegas. I think you got to go big. And
Yeah.
who would say no, one, to doing their halftime show and two, doing it in Las Vegas?
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
so but I can't wait to watch the game with everyone, and
Yeah, me
we'll have
too.
a podcast talking about it, but I hope it's a good game, hope it's a good halftime show, and hopefully
Yep.
we have a good episode after to talk about
Yeah, 100%. And also make sure to follow our TikTok and Instagram because we will be posting a parlay, a
our final
two-man
shot.
parlay. We've taken a couple of weeks off, but we are going to be back and better than ever.
Yep, it's our last game of the NFL season before baseball starts, and we
Yeah,
dabble in that.
so we need
But
to
our last
win.
chance to finally make some money off the NFL season.
Let's make some money off the NFL season. We have gone, what is it? 22 weeks without winning.
Something's got to
So
give,
something's got to give. I
or
think
just
we're
bet
gonna
the
win.
opposite of what we bet.
Yeah. No, don't do that because stay with the two men.
Yeah,
Stay with the two men.
awesome.
Before we head to our trivia game, Tyler,
Okay.
um, I have a couple of like notes about kind of just in the sports world.
Mhm.
So talking about just crazy big events, we just found out that New Jersey is going to be getting the FIFA finals.
Yeah, what a crazy choice. What an absolutely crazy choice.
Yeah, one of the worst stadiums probably in recorded history, MetLife Stadium. Getting a finals event. I mean, not actually, but like the
Yeah,
NFL
well,
players hate
because
it.
yeah, when you look at it from the outside point of view, like it's nice. It's a huge stadium,
Oh
holds
yeah,
80,000 people. But when you get down to the brass tacks,
brass
and
tacks.
you see that like NFL players already hate it because they just tear their ACLs on every non-injury or non-contact play, and guys are tearing ACLs, Achilles, stuff like that. And someone said you bring the most expensive legs in the entire world to that field. I mean, that's a
Most
liability.
expensive legs. That's
And
crazy
then
way to
and
think
everyone's
about
just
it.
saying like, because obviously like Los Angeles, SoFi Stadium, Dallas, AT&T Stadium, Atlanta, like all those stadiums were like finalists to be chosen for it.
Yeah,
And those areas might be nicer, and you got the airports right there, the trains take them right there as well. And those stadiums are just nicer in terms of safety and stuff like that. So I mean, they have 2 years to fix it, but just picture like some Europeans and all these guys traveling to the game, going through Secaucus, going to East Rutherford. Like it's something just doesn't sound right about that. It's
East
cool,
Rutherford. Yeah.
yeah, but something just doesn't sound right about all these people. We get to show America the soccer atmosphere, and we bring them to New Jersey, the armpit of America.
The armpit of America,
When you
dude.
think about it, they're probably so pumped.
Oh,
They're like, "Oh, New York, like the New York Jets play here, the New York Giants
yep.
play here." It's
Hmm.
like this is they play in Jersey though.
There's so many probably like foreigners that just hear New Jersey and they just like think New York and they're
Mhm.
gonna show up and they're like, "Where's Times Square?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, it's about a 2 hour drive to the right."
Yeah, yeah, no,
Oh, that's
exactly.
hilarious.
No, I know. I mean, that was a crazy one to hear that coming to New Jersey. But I think the crazier one we also kind of talked about a little bit is I was telling Carl before the show, Kanye West is supposed to drop his album with Ty Dolla Sign this Friday. Don't
Yes.
not holding
Vultures.
that hope because it's been delayed or moved like 6 or 7 times, kind of. But they're having a listening party Thursday, so when this episode drops yesterday in Chicago. And then he announced today that they're having a listening party in UBS Arena on Friday night, the same night the album drops, or same day, I guess, in Long Island. I
That's
just,
crazy.
I
Out of
cannot,
all places,
yeah, like I'm not, UBS is a nice arena, but to think that like Kanye West is coming to Long Island does not make, as another thing that I just can't comprehend in my head. I
no, it's
don't see it
awesome.
happening.
I'm gonna try and get tickets, man. You told me that. I looked 14 hours. I'm gonna be waiting up the next 14 hours. I'm gonna be like this to my phone, just waiting to get in the queue and get tickets.
Yeah, because I know they don't really like perform at these shows or really sing because it's advertised obviously as a listening party.
Yeah.
But I mean, you saw a couple others for like listening parties for Donda and stuff, and they
Yeah.
performed and stuff. So who knows? I mean, it could be cool for the right price, and you're 40 minutes away, less with a train and stuff like that. So
Yeah. So
um,
if I buy tickets for us, you coming with me?
probably not. But I have to
Loser.
see the price because I also have a little more of a travel just to go see Kanye West, and who knows if he shows up? I mean, this guy's flaky.
Yeah, no, he's definitely
He's off
flaky.
his he's off his
But what
rocker
happens
just
if you buy those
24/7.
tickets and nobody shows up? You think they just play like random music and it's
They
like a
probably just play
club?
the album because I mean, supposedly the album's supposed to drop on Friday, but now since he's having a listening party, maybe he drops it after the listening party, or will he drop it Thursday night at midnight like everyone else does?
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I have low
I have a
hopes.
feeling if he's doing the party, I think he won't drop it until after the party.
That's what I'm thinking. But what if that party ends? I mean, yeah. So then maybe it's technically like a Friday night drop. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's still New Music Friday, but
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, those were just a couple things coming near the area to the metropolitan area that we wanted to kind of talk about real quick and
yeah.
let people know. I mean, if you hear about this and you live close to Long Island and you want to go see Kanye tonight, which is when the
Yeah.
podcast drops.
Yeah, let us know in the comments how it was. Let us know if it's something that you would like the two man to go to. If it is, then you should definitely buy some two man merch.
Yeah, yeah, go rep it at UBS.
Go rep it at UBS.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, let's get into our game. I'm excited
Yes,
for
I
this.
am so excited for this, dude. Let's go. So, everybody, we like to end our annual or our regular two-man podcast episodes with a fun game.
Mhm.
Usually it's Tyler roasting the shit out of me. Today,
Oh, brother.
it's going to be Tyler doing some trivia. I'm not going to be roasting the shit out of him, but I will definitely give his brain some thinking here. All
Okay.
right. So, Tyler, my idea that I have for you is a little bit of NFL trivia because it is Super Bowl weekend.
Okay.
So, the past couple of weeks, we have had the NFL playoffs.
Okay.
So, speaking of NFL playoffs, there are a lot of great quarterbacks that play in these games.
Yes,
So,
sure.
my trivia question for you, Tyler, is who are the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL to have the most losses? Not
Lost it.
wins, but losses. So who has lost the most in the NFL playoffs as a quarterback?
Are these active or just all time?
All time, I will give you a hint that most of them, well, pretty much all of them are people that we have grown up watching.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. So top 5 losses of all time in the playoffs. Their record is
Yes.
not good. So they're really not.
No, they could also
could,
be good.
they could be for sure. But you one have to be there a lot. I'm trying to think.
Yes.
But one, you have to be there a lot. And two, like, yeah, you don't have to be bad, but you might not have as many wins.
Exactly.
Might.
Might.
Okay. All right. So you want me to just kind of throw out some guesses and
Throw out some guesses and I'll let you know. I have a list right now of
a lot. That's a lot. How many?
I have 16. So if you guess out of the top 5, I'll let you know if you're right or not.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So I mean, the first one I'm going based on solely how many times he's been there, and I'm going to go Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's 1 of 1. So you got that one.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, immediately I just know I know he has his 7 rings, but he's in the playoffs every year. So
Yep.
most playoff. Tony Romo.
Tony Romo is not on the list.
I'm thinking Cowboys. So what about Dak?
Dak is also not on the list.
Sorry, Cowboys fans, catching strays. You're just not good in the playoffs.
Catching strays.
Is it Josh Allen? Has he been there enough?
No. You need to think a little bit. You have to think a little bit more. Like you have to think longer tenure and like
gotcha.
Better like teams that were better.
Okay. Oh, so can I know how many losses Brady had?
So Brady had 13 losses. and he's tied with the second person on the list.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. All right. All right. So yeah, so that helps me out because those guys have losses, but like to think top five, most of them probably
Yeah.
have to have anywhere from like 8 to 11 or 12.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on the yeah, you're right. You're right on the money there with the numbers.
I mean, he's still kind of new, but he's been here in the playoffs enough. Is Mahomes up there yet?
No, he's not because he's only won.
Oh shit. Yeah, he only lost one.
He's only lost
Oh
like
shit.
2 games.
Yeah. Yeah. No, okay. Okay. This is harder than I thought it was gonna be.
Damn, 4 strikes there.
Yeah. Yikes. Uh,
Thanks.
is Dan Marino up there?
Dan Marino is up there, but he is just outside number 6.
Son of a gun, Marino.
So I'll give you a half a point there.
Oh, there's a guy for the Bills. Is he up there? Should I really try? It's an old
He
quarter,
is up there,
but not top five.
but he's not
It's
top 5.
it's something Jim Kelly. Jim
Jim
Kelly. That's
Kelly,
who I'm
yeah, there
thinking.
you go. He is number 9 on the list. Or
He
sorry,
lost.
he's number 8. Sorry, he's
God,
number
well,
8.
he also lost 4 straight Super Bowls. I don't know if you
That
know that
is
one.
like that's tough.
Imagine
That's
going to 4 straight
tough.
Super Bowls and
That's
not
tough.
winning them. That's
That's
unbelievable.
crazy. That's like if Mahomes just went and lost every
Yeah,
single one.
yeah, yeah. Oh my
How do you
God.
not win one? How do you not win one?
Exactly. How do you not get like a tip to go your way or something like that? Not one.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh, who else?
I'll give you a hint.
All right.
He's now a Jets quarterback.
Oh my God. I should have realized he's older and he's been there a lot. All right, Aaron Rodgers. Okay.
There you
Where's
go.
he?
Aaron Rodgers is number 4 on the list.
I thought you were gonna say he was tied with Brady, and I was like, and he has 6 less
Could
rings.
you
Oh, okay.
imagine?
So
That
this
would
might
suck.
open my head a little bit. All right,
There
Peyton
you
Manning.
go. There
Peyton
you go.
Manning.
Peyton Manning is number 2 on the list.
Sorry, Peyton. What about Matt Stafford?
Matt Stafford is not on the list.
The Lions actually didn't make the playoffs.
He
a
did
lot.
not. Yeah, he didn't make the playoffs a lot, but he did win the only Super Bowl he was in.
Fair.
Fair.
What about Peyton's brother, Eli? Eli there enough?
Eli was not in the playoffs enough. He just was. He was the GOAT. Quick side note: did you see the clip of Eli
Of him rapping?
Dude,
Unbelievable.
awesome. He was like, "My name is Eli. I'm nice."
Tom Brady the GOAT?
Psych! I beat him twice.
Dude, I love
That was
him.
awesome. That was
He's
awesome.
such a dad, and he beat Tom Brady twice.
But yeah, Eli Manning is not on the list.
All right, so Brady, Peyton. Who else are like some of the GOATs? I can't really even think. Rodgers is up there. Who else went to the playoffs a lot when we were younger?
Think about good teams.
Yeah, who were always so close but didn't make? Oh, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco making enough?
No, he
Oh.
didn't make it enough because they won when they did make
Dude,
it.
I keep thinking of people who won when they go.
All right,
Oh,
think about
geez.
like the quarterbacks that you think of when you think Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. Who's in that era?
Oh, Drew Brees.
Drew Brees is on the list, but
Bum.
he's not in the top 5.
Oh, you bum.
He's number 7.
Philip Rivers.
No, I don't think that.
Bum.
Oh, he's on the list, but he's farther down. He's like 15. Or no, sorry, he's 14.
All right, I'm gonna save the embarrassment and give like 3 or 4 more guesses because this is more brutal than I thought. All right, so are there like some old time guys? Like what about like
No, all
Oh.
very prevalent. Think
who was
so.
good?
You said Aaron Rodgers. Who
Oh,
is
I can't think of. Hold on. What about trying to think of jerseys I've had. What about what's his face? I said Philip Rivers, not him. What about Matt Ryan?
no?
Boom. Who else? Yeah, Drew Brees. I'm just trying to think of our childhood. And I can't seem to place Aaron Rodgers helped, but
What am I doing right now? Imagine this was a towel.
oh, Big Ben.
Yes, Big Ben. He is number 5.
Gee, so what do I have? One, two, and
So
five.
you have one, two, four, and five. You were just
Who
missing
is
number
four?
three.
Who is four?
Four was Rogers. So
Oh,
you had
four was Rogers.
Brady, Peyton, three, Rogers, Big Ben.
All right. So, oh, what about Russell Wilson?
No, he's
Bum.
not on here. Well, he's on the list, but he's
But he
not
he
top
did
five.
he he did win it
He's
as
right
well.
above Phillip Rivers, so he's
He
like 13.
he did win it. All right. And so number three is like someone around the same time period, like that we kind of
A
watched
I would say he's like
a little earlier.
older than Rogers, but like same time frame as Peyton and Brady.
Oh God. What about? Oh, okay. I'll throw out a couple guesses. What about Kurt Warner?
Not Kurt
Not
Warner.
there. Um,
All right, can I
what's
tell you
his
the
name?
team? Can I
Yeah.
tell you
I
one of
have
the
one.
other teams that he's played on?
Oh, teams. Okay. Who
One of
I
the other
was
teams that
thinking.
he's played on, besides the team that he's most known for, is the Vikings.
Brett Favre.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Wow. That's an interesting list, and it's really fun. Honestly, I really like that trivia.
Right? So, it was Tom Brady, the most losses, followed
Yeah.
by Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, Rodgers, and Ben Roethlisberger. Each one. So Peyton and Brady were tied at 13.
Mhm.
Favre had 11, and Rodgers and Ben had 10.
Wow, it's so funny too because like how I mentioned at the beginning, like Brady obviously has the most one because he was there the most,
Yeah,
but he also has seven rings to back it up. If I'm looking at
exactly.
this, I think Ben only
Exactly.
has one, Peyton has two, one or two, Rogers has one, and I don't know how many Brett Favre has, but it's definitely not six or seven.
Dude,
So,
but like think about this. Brady, it tells you here on like the website that I'm on.
mm,
Brady had 48 games played and he only lost 13.
oh my gosh,
Like
and that's the playoffs.
that's just
Yeah,
playoffs. That's a ridiculous stat.
dude,
He
some
played
yeah. Sorry.
multiple seasons in the playoffs.
I was about to say there's some quarterbacks who have shortened careers and their
Yeah.
win-loss record is like that in the regular season. And this guy, yeah, has
Yeah,
a whole Hall of Fame career just based on his playoffs.
exactly.
Dude, that's crazy. That was a lot of fun. I thought that was
He
gonna be even easier, but
Yeah, I
I
know.
couldn't I couldn't
Dude,
think of them.
that was hard. Honestly, so the reason why I did this was Casey did this to us, and me and Jimmy, it was a combined brain effort between me and Jimmy,
Yeah.
and me and Jimmy actually got it was out of 8. I thought we only doing 5 was good.
Yeah, thank God I
Um
would I mean I got some of them, but still.
you got a lot of them. Honestly, most of them.
Yeah.
The rest of the list is like that you didn't get was like Steve Young, John Elway,
That's who I was gonna say. I was gonna say Steve Young. I was
yeah,
thinking of teams who went there a lot, might have won it, but also lost them.
Don Stork, Craig
Wasn't gonna get that.
Morton,
Wasn't gonna
Russell
get that.
Wilson,
Got that.
Philip Rivers,
Got him.
Donovan McNabb, and then Randall Cunningham.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I would have guessed some of those, but
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have gotten this whole list, but like uh, crazy though, because it just shows like to be on a list that's so terrible, the most losses, you have to
yeah,
be so good. Because
yeah,
even the guys who did lose, they had like a lot, they at least had like a season worth of games played in the
hmm,
playoffs. Like I think the lowest number on this list out of games played is Randall Cunningham. He had 12 games played,
hmm,
but then like right above him, Donovan McNabb, has 16 games played. So
gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, I know obviously people want multiple rings, but I'd be pretty satisfied if I won one ring. But some of these guys have some long careers. I mean, if you look at Aaron Rodgers playing into his 40s and someone
yeah.
who's in the playoffs every year, and you got one, I would get so tired of it.
Yeah, 100%.
I,
He doesn't even have nearly half the amount of games played as Brady, though.
Jeez, that's absurd. Well, yeah, because I mean, yeah, because also some of these teams are just prolific for being first round, second round exits.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
jeez. Well, that was a lot of fun. Thanks.
Yeah, man. Dude, we got to do this again. I freaking love this. It was so much fun.
Dude, I would, yeah, I'll next time I'll find one. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the times it's me quizzing you, so I had a lot of fun getting
Nah.
quizzed.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna quiz you again next time. I'll
Yeah,
find something good.
please do, please do. But
All right.
I think that wraps up our lovely Jordan episode.
Yeah, welcome to episode number Jordan. Uh beautiful 2-3.
Hmm.
I had a hell of a time, and let's go Chiefs, and let's go for a good Super Bowl and the
Yeah.
Deadpool trailer because I'm super stoked for that. That's my Super Bowl this year.
There
The
we go. Yeah.
Deadpool 3 trailer.
Yeah. Let's everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope you guys keep supporting. Have a great Super Bowl. Happy Valentine's Day to
Oh,
all y'all who celebrate, and we will
nice.
see you next time.
We will see you tomorrow night.
Peace
See
out,
you
guys.
later. Bye.